The Houston Texans are just a 3-point home favorite against the Indianapolis Colts for a primetime matchup on Sunday night, October 16th. The Colts were a complete and utter disaster last month. Now, for a primetime NFL Sunday night football game in Houston, the neutral site line would effectively be a pick'em. So there has been some adjusting here over the last couple of weeks. This is one of two de facto AFC South championship games over the course of the regular season. So this one means a lot for both sides. The win and cover over the Bears was lucky for the Colts with a late Chicago fumble and a field goal. Indianapolis is now 2-3 straight up and against the spread on the season. The Texans are 3-2 straight up and also 3-2 against the spread. Houston has only laid points twice this year, but they've covered in both of those games. This is one of the tougher games to handicap this weekend, as the Indianapolis Colts have played better lately, but they looked awful in Jacksonville, and the offensive line still has issues. Andrew Luck has been sacked 20 times in 5 games, but he's done everything that he can with a 63.9% completion rate and a 10-3 touchdown interception ratio. Frank Gore is his usual reliable self with 4.2 yards per carry. Ty Hilton could use a little bit more help in the passing game, but he's making his own breaks with 104 yards after the catch and 9 chunk plays of 20 yards or more. The Colts are lacking depth on offense, both on the line and at running back, so the margin for error has been very small. Defensively, this is not a good team. The Colts have allowed the opposition to complete over 70% of its passes for more than 300 yards per game. Indianapolis has allowed 7 passing touchdowns and only has 1 interception. Negative plays aren't in the repertoire for the Colts, who have allowed 4.6 yards per carry and only have 7 sacks. Only Detroit, Oakland, and Washington have allowed more yards per carry, and only Oakland has allowed more yards overall. Indianapolis has had a lot of injuries, particularly to the secondary. They gave up almost 400 passing yards to Brian Hoyer last week, as some reinforcements joined the fray. The Houston Texans might be the most perplexing team in the NFL. Many of their stats are ugly, but they are a 3-2 team, and their only 2 losses are to the Patriots and the Vikings. The Brock Osweiler experiment has not gone very well, as Osweiler has completed just 58% of his passes, even though he has 2 outstanding weapons in DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. He's thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns, and he's been sacked 11 times. Lamar Miller has only run for 3.7 yards per carry, and the Texans have no rushing plays of 20 yards or more, so they're not getting a good push at the first or second level. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't gotten a whole lot of separation. He only has 22 catches and 29 yards after the catch. The coaching staff needs to find ways to get him the ball with space. On the defensive side, Houston has had a great line, even without the services of perennial MVP candidate J.J. Watt. The Texans have 13 sacks thus far and 17 tackles for a loss. With the help from the pass rush, the Texans secondary has held the opposing quarterbacks to a 56.9% completion record. There are a lot of things to like about what Houston has done on the defensive side of the ball. Of teams that have played 5 games, only Baltimore and Minnesota have allowed fewer yards than the Texans. The Colts have a poor offensive line, and Houston has done well in the pass defense. But Andrew Luck has been solid in the face of pressure, and Frank Gore should find some openings against the Texans. On the other side, the Colts have been a bad defensive team, but Brock Osweiler and the Texans offense have not been efficient at all. It seems counterintuitive to view these teams as equal on a neutral playing field, and this looks like a fairly strong stance from the odds makers to bet the road team. Our pick and prediction will be the Indianapolis Colts +3.